Okay, so um, let's start day 23, 20th October 2020. So in the object-oriented JavaScript, we'll do private functions. What are the private functions? And in problems, we'll do the max character problem, max character problem. Third, then we'll start with the React. So yesterday we installed the parse server, and I hope everyone's parse server is working. And if it is not working, you can try to fix it today before we really work on some coding. So we'll do some setup of the React, and that is what today's agenda. So let's start with the private function. So I will write private functions, and in that, so these are nothing but the inner functions. That is functions inside another function. So because function are some kind of value or data, so we can define function inside another function. So these are called inner functions or private functions because these cannot be accessed outside that function, and this can only be accessed by the inside function. So for example, if I have function A with some parameter, and I will create another function B with some another parameter, and then this another parameter, another function B function, it will return another parameter into 2. So B function this B function is inside the A function, and this B function is called inner function, and this B function is also called private function, and this B function is not accessed from the global scope outside that function. It can only be accessed by inside the A function. And here I can return the result is, then I'll say B function, and in B function accept some parameter. This B function will take this parameter which is coming here, and I pass it to B parameter, and I get into 2. So whatever number I will pass, I will get multiply by 2 in the return. So this B function is called inner function or private function. We can write same thing in the literal notation. We can write this as var A equal to function parameter, and then I can say var B equal to function the another parameter, and this is the literal notation, and the function is the same, only the way of writing is different. And I return the result is B param. Okay, so now if we call the A in the global space like A of 2, it will return 4. the result is 4. But if I call b of 2, it will not give anything because b is private. It cannot be accessed from the global world. So it will say b is not defined. So what are the benefits of this one? Benefits of using this are that you keep, benefits, you keep the global namespace clean. So if you don't want this function to be used by outside world or any other function, then you can keep it private and you keep the global namespace clean. And outside world, it is not available. So this private function is not available in outside world. So the main aim is to keep the global namespace clean. Otherwise, if you have too many functions, too many variables in a global one, things get messy and many times not work because you don't know which function is called. So tracking is little difficult to do that. And if you keep it clean and some error is coming inside A, so these are the functions calling inside A, this can be creating a problem. But if this is written in some global space anywhere and you're calling this one, so sometimes if error comes, you need to it may take since it is unclean, so it will take time to debug the application. So people try to keep the inner functions if they get chance of. But if a requirement cannot keep it that we can keep inside the another function, then we can keep it in global space. So it's not hard coded that you should keep inside it, but if you can do it, then it is a cleaner way and it is better way. But sometimes the application does not allow us to do that, so we keep it in global space. But many times you can keep inside it and keep the function private and keep the global space clean. So this is all about the private function. So I'm doing small part of this object oriented, so you can understand it also, and we have no burden of doing a lot of things in one day. Every day we'll do some little part of object oriented. So let's go to the problems part. We'll do the max character problem. Okay, before going to max character problem, let's run this one because I just wrote it, I didn't run it. Let's run it. So I created this function. Then I say a of 2, facing result of 4, and now I'm saying b of 2. So it gives me the error that b is not defined because b is defined inside the a and b is a private function and it cannot be accessed in the global namespace. Okay, so this one was the running of the function. Now let's go to the problem, max character problem. So I will create a file in the JavaScript. Okay, this is max character problem. So the problem is like this. We have a string and we have to return the most commonly character in the string. So for example, if we create a function called as MaxChar, and if we pass a b b c, so here b is called 2 times, whereas a and c are 1 time. So the return of this should be b. Output should be b. Okay, so now if I pass MaxChar of hello world, So if we see here, we have L 3 times, whereas all others are 1 or 2 times. So this should output L. Okay, so this is the problem which we have to solve. So what we have to do, let's start writing, and then so what we have to do, idea is what? So we have the character, for example, A, B, B, C. I will create one object, and this object will have, I will go through each character and I will take A and put it in this object, and I will count. I will assign the count of A. So A will be 1 because A is called 1. Then I will create another key B because second letter is B, and I will assign it to 1. Then I'll go to third time is also B. Then I will, since B is already defined, I will make it 2. And then I will go to the next letter C. I will create another key in the object, that is C, and I will say it 1 because it is not defined previously. And then I will see which one is greater 1. So greater 1 is 2. So I will return this B because B is the greater one. Okay, so this is the idea, that we have to put it in the object, and then using the object value we have to show the result. So this is the idea. So let's create a function MaxChar, and I should get some string in it. So I will create this object. So this object. So let's create the object. Constant object is equal to, like this, curly bracket. Then I will define two helper called as helper variables. And if I don't get any string, let's say if I pass empty string, I will return null kind of thing because we don't get anything. And here I will say let max equal to 0. So if I get the string with only letter A, for example, if float only letter A, so max will be the 0. 0 is the index of that one. Okay, I'll come to 0 letter. Just remember, for now, I create two helper variables which will help me to track the count, and track the key. So these are the, so let's say if B is greater, I should be able to track it in the end, and if 2 is greater, I should be able to track in the max the 2 value. So let max character is equal to empty string now. So these two are the helper method which will help me to track this and the letter which is greater. This object is created to make this like this object, like key value pair. We have to make like this object. So I created this object, and these two are used to track which letter is greater one and how many characters it has. So for that I created these two variables. Now I will look through this string and try to create this format. So for let I equal to 0, I less than string dot length. I will go through all the string I plus plus. So now I is the 0th position. 0th position means, for example, if I'm passing A, B, B, C. So I is the 0th position. That means I am trying to track the A, and I will see if A exists in this object. Right now, since object is empty, So that means A doesn't exist in this object. So I will create it. So I'll check if object of I. What it means, if object of I means it existed. It means it existed. So right now, since object is empty, that means it doesn't exist. So it will go inside the if loop, else loop. That means it doesn't exist. So this else loop will come. That means this object does not have this character. And else will, if loop will come when A existed, and else will come when A is not there in this object. So if it is not there, we will have to create it. So I'll say object. It is not I, because I is a 0. I have to put this character, A character. So how will I access the A character? Can someone type in the chat? How will I access the A character? That is this A character. What should I write here? Can someone put in chat? So I want to see if this A is object of I will say object of 0. So object of 0 is not there. So I want A. See, I have to get from the string, not the object. I want, okay, let's forget this one. Let's stop here and do it here. So, okay, so I am looping through this string. Let's do one by one step. Right now, I will do only the console log of character is a string of I. Yes, string of I. Okay. So string of I, if I print like this, then what it shows, let's see. So I created this function and I say MaxChar of A, B, B, C. So what we are seeing, first time character is A, second time character is B, third time character is C. That means the character A. So that means the character A is string of I. So let's put it in the variable character is equal to string of I. So now first time this character will be A, second time the character will be B, third time the character will be B, fourth time the character will be C. So now what I will do, I will check if object of character, that is object of A, is there or not. Since object is empty, that means it is not there. If it is there, I will go into the if loop, and if it is not there, I will go into else loop. Since initially first time the object is empty, so object of A will not be there, and we will go into the else. So if we will go into the else, I will create object of character equal to 1. So since it was not there, I created object of A. Now with this step, I created object of A equal to 1 like this. So second time it will run, for loop will go to second time, and it will check object of character, that is object of B. Since object of B is also not there, so we will not go inside the if loop, we'll go inside the else loop. So second time it will go object of B equal to 1. So we are inside this second time. So still we are in the second time because object of B is also not there. Now third time, okay, we are going into the third time. Third time also we get B. Third time also we'll get B. And then it will go into the if list. Now it will check if object of B existed. Yes, because we already created this object of B. So if it existed, I will just say object of character, whatever it was there, I will add it 1. So I'll say plus plus. So since B was created, then object of B will become plus plus. Okay. And then third time it will go object of C equal to 1. Second time it will become 2, and then object of C is not there. So it will go into else case and object of C will become 1 in this line. So after this for loop, I will be having object like this. A of 1, B of 2, and C of 1. Now we have to find this part, that is B equal to 2, because this is the greatest one and I have to return this. Okay. So now what I will do, either I can run another for loop for this object and try to figure out which one is greater, or here only after else case I can track it. How I can track it, I'll show you. I will check if this object of character is greater than max value. And which is the max value? This max 0. So if this object of character is greater than max value, so first time object of A will come, which is 1. So this is 1. Is it greater than max, greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. So first time, since object of character is greater than max, I will make max equal to object of character. That will be the 1. Initially it is 1. And I will also track which character is the maximum. And I'll say max character is character, which is the current one. So when I run this for loop, first time object of A will come, it will become 1 here. And it will check whether 1 is greater than max. Max is what? 0. Since object of character is greater than 0, so I will make max equal to object of character. Okay, so max will be this number 1. And what is the character which is at the maximum level? A. In the first case, it will be A. So I will, in the first case, max will be 1 and max character will be A, because this is only 1 in the first for loop, in the first loop. Then when the second time it will run, it is B. So B will have the max character of 1, since B does not existed. So B will be 1, and it will check if object of character, that is object of B, is greater than max. Max was 1. So I'll check object of character, that is 1, is greater than 1, because max is 1. So answer is no. So it will not go into the for loop, and it will not go into the if loop, and it will go to for loop again. And when it will go to for loop again, it will go to second B, and the object of B will become 2. And then again it will come in this if character, whether 2 is greater than 1, because max is all 1. Yes, 2 is greater than 1. So we go inside the if loop, and I'll change the max to, I'll change the max to 2 and max character to B, because B is the greater one now. Then I'll go to the C, and I'll make the C equal to 1. I'll make the C equal to 1, and it will check whether 1 is greater than max. Max is become 2, so 1 is not greater than 2, so it will not go into the if loop. And finally, since C is done and final value of the max is 2 and max character is B, ultimate aim of this function is to get the B. So we have to return this max character. Return max character. So in first case, max will become 1, and second case, max will become 2, and max character will become B, and we are returning B. So this is all about this maximum character, and then let's run this function now. So I'm getting B. So let's put this in this our problem, and then I'll call max character of this one ABBC, and I'll get output of B. And then again I'll call the max character of hello world. I should get L as the output. Let's run it, this one, and see what we're getting it. I'm getting L. Okay, so the purpose of max character was to get the maximum character. And every time when we run the for loop, I'll check and put it in that variable which is the greater one. So this one is a, so this is, you feel that this is the easy problem, or some may feel difficult if they have not worked such kind of things. But this is asked in many of the interviews. Okay, I remember I was giving interview in New Zealand in one of the company long back. So they asked the same problem to me. And since this is in my repertoire, and if it is new problem, I have to think on it. But this one, something was in my repertoire, so I just did in 2 minutes. Completed this in 2 minutes. So this is very important problem. Many people ask is this in the interview. Okay, so that's all about the problem, today's problem. Now we'll go to the React part. So yesterday we saw that we have done the, we have completed the what you called as the parts kind of thing, installing of the parts server. So this ReactJs kind of thing, you know, you have to see the video and do the coding yourself. I will not give the code to you so that you can copy and paste and create your project that you have done it. I want you to do each project yourself, and then you can say that you have done that project. So this will not be in the Git kind of thing, but this part will be in the Git because this is something not related to our React project. So I committed this in the Git also. You might have taken it and you can run it and see if it is working or not. If it is not working, just let me know. We'll see why it is giving a problem to you. So since parts server is done yesterday, we'll go with the React part today, and we'll install the React and see how we can do. So this is the assets folder. This assets folder will be having all the CSS or the material which I want to share with you that you can copy and paste, because this React part will be too big, and many of the CSS which are inbuilt kind of thing from somewhere, let's say I took some design template or something, that CSS I want you to do copy paste. I don't want you to write all the CSS for that. So that part will be put in the assets folder. I created the complete React folder, but I will not use this. I will be using another folder. I'll show you now, because actually I have to commit in the Git because to keep the history, but I don't want to share that one with you because I want you to write the code from the scratch yourself. So I have created another folder which I'll show you. So before that, let me start the parts server, and then we'll see. So this is my, okay, I'll go to the parts server. Okay, this is the parts server. I'll say npm start. So once I get confirmation here, I'll go to the browser and check it. Okay, it is still not taking time. So what I'm expecting, if I go to path server index.js file, so I'm expecting it should say path server is running on port, something like this. When I get this confirmation, then it means that it is running. Okay, it's taking time. Waiting. Check. Taking too much time. Yeah, I got it now. So once we got this one, we'll go into the browser and localhost 1337. So my path server is running. If I go to dashboard, so if your dashboard is not like mine, this one, that means you're doing some problem. So you should see some kind of this one. Okay, so if you're not able to see this one, that means there is some problem with your settings or some problem with your installation, and you need to fix it. So few of the problems which I saw yesterday, I will share with you. Maybe you may get same one. So one of the problem was this app ID should be matching with this app ID. This master key should match with this master key. This master key, you see M is small, K is capital, A small, I is capital. Similarly, here A small, I is capital, M small, key is capital. So these are the problems which someone faces yesterday. Another one is, this dir name has 2 underscore. And if you see this MongoDB, so if you put some spelling wrong like MongoDB, so it will not work. And you have to put this, this one as your database which you want to use. So if you are using different database, then you have to use different one here. Whatever database you want to use, you can put it here. This is a localhost because my MongoDB is running locally. If your MongoDB is running on the cloud, so you have to change the URL as per you get the URL from the cloud. So these are the few problems which you can see and check the spelling all over the place if it is correct or not. And some people, if you don't create this cloud one also, main.js, then it may also create problem because we are calling here and we have to create that folder and file. Okay, so let me see what are the other problems people face. Yeah, so these are the common problems which people might have. So let's so if you have still the problem, you can tell me after the end of the session, and then I will ask you to share your screen in this application, and you have to share the screen, and then I'll see what are the problems you are facing, and everybody will see what problems you are facing. So if you have any problem, just let me know in the chat. I will I'll give you permission, presenter, then you can share your screen, and then we'll see how to fix that one. So this one was the path server is running, it's fine. Now I will go to the React one. I will not commit the React in this folder structure, but I have created another folder which I will share with you, and then we'll work there. Okay, so I created this complete React folder and I install all my just create React app in the folder. I'll show you. So I created the create React app in the client. So I created a folder client and all my React code will go inside this client. Okay. So tomorrow if I need to build some server, Node.js server, I can put it outside this client and this client will be the React one. So I created the folder client. You can also do, since we have not started yet, you can also do the same structure. You can create a folder and create a React app inside this folder and in the folder client. So I just created npx create React app client. So all my React code will go inside the client. Okay, so this one was the, let's go now and run the, so I'll say cd client and I'll say npm start. So my React code will start here. By the time it starts, we will do some setup of the React. So this React setup is purely what I like or what I do in my real world examples. If you go with another teacher or another tutor on YouTube or somewhere, he may have different structures, he may have different ideas, he may do it differently. So it's all depend on everything is flexible, you know, you can do anything, whatever you want. So before we really jump into the coding, we will install some packages and I will now share with you what packages you need to install it. Okay. I will put that packages in the, in this readme file, in the assets folder. If you want, you can grab that also. Okay, so what are the packages needed? So I'll write down React one again. Maybe create a folder, complete React, and go inside that folder and run the command. Go inside that folder and run create React app client. Once you install it, you go to cd client and then you have to install the packages which I am sharing with you now. So these are the packages which I mostly use in my application, and I will be adding more packages later as I will work more. So let me just check the packages which I use and then I'll share with you. Okay, so I will say npm install save, and the first package which I want is the React Bootstrap. So I put React Bootstrap. Second one which I want is React Quill. Third one, I won't be installing Redux now, and when the time will come to use the Redux, at that time I'll use the Redux. Right now we will work without Redux till the time we see the project is big enough and there is necessity to use the Redux. Then only we'll install the Redux and set up the Redux again. Otherwise we will work with simple React without Redux. I will use React Quill. I will use React Render HTML. Then I'll go with React Router DOM. This React Router DOM is used for routing purpose, and I will use next one. I will use validate.js. I will also install parse, or since I'm using parse, I will install parse. I will also install Bootstrap. I will also install React Google Autocomplete. I will also install React Google Maps for any map related stuff. Yeah, for now this is fine. Later on I will add more as I'll see, depend on our application. So here I'll go to again client and I'll install all these npm packages. So till this get installed, we'll work on the React one. Okay, first we'll see whether my React is working or not. Why this is not working? Okay. So I'll go to the let's check first localhost 3000. So my React is working fine. I can see this one. Okay, so this is working fine. I am also installing these packages. Okay, let's go to our application now. For this, I'll delete some of the files, like I don't need this one for now. I'll delete app.test.js. I'll keep the index.css, but I'll empty the content of CSS. I don't want to use their CSS in the index.js. Okay, I'll delete the logo.svg. I'll delete the setup.js. I'll delete the app.css. In the app.js, I will delete these two, and I'll also empty it and just say hello world in the content for now. So this is a setup, one-time setup we are doing, and once this setup is done, then we'll not touch the setup again. Okay. So now index.css is fine. App.js has hello world. It's fine. Index let's keep all same as it is. Okay. Okay. Now let's check the browser. So we get hello world here. This is correct. Now let's go to index.js file and do some changes there as per our need. I'll go to index.js. So here, first thing, I will import the bootstrap part. So this is the bootstrap which I showed you that since we will be using React Bootstrap, I'm using this one. So tomorrow if you want to use the material UI, then lot of changes will be there in our structure because our whole structure is taking the bootstrap and this one, I'm putting it bootstrap. So if we are working on a material UI, so we need to do those changes as per the material UI. Because material UI is something like bootstrap, and so we need to replace bootstrap with material UI, and we have to do a lot more changes to accommodate that one material, and we will do that also in some projects. Next thing which I want to do here is I have to, since I will be using parse, so I will be importing parse here. So it doesn't matter if I put parse in the third number line or in the last 8th number line. Only thing we need to use the parse from the parse one. Because we are using parse server, so we have to call this package. If you are not using parse, if you are using Firebase or some REST API, so you don't need to call it parse. Okay. Now since parse is there, we initialize the parse. So how to initialize the parse? I'll say pass.initialize. And here I have to put the app ID which I have in my pass. So you can use multiple CSS in one project. Okay, so some div you can write for in the CSS bootstrap style, some in material style, so you can use that one. Both are CSS, you can use both wherever you want to. So I'm just going to my path server setting to see what is the app ID I have given. I can type it also, but if I type it, I may get sometime problem. So I'm just copying pasting it so that it should be exact. It should not sometimes you make D capital D at one place and small d at another place, so it may cause problems. So I'm just taking the exact one, that is D. Now second thing will be I have to set up the URL. So I'll say parse.server URL equal to. Now if you have something on the cloud or on your hosting server, then this URL will change. But since I am working in locally, I will be using local URL, localhost 1337/parse. So this is the URL you have to give. Host that hosting in the domain and the parse as a extension. So this one is the setup of this one. If I use this strict mode, many of third-party application, they were used before React introduced this word strict mode. So if I use strict mode, many of my application, which third-party application which I install, will give some warning in the console.log that this is not working, this is not working. So for now, I'll remove this strict mode till all my third-party library move to the new React, because this just now, few days back, React introduced this strict mode. Before that, this was not coming. So I have seen some of my applications are not working third party. They are giving warning or error in my console.log because of this strict mode. And so till they convert to this new one, this new React world kind of thing, so I will remove this strict mode. Later on, I will add it when they move it. Okay, so this one is the setting of the app. So first time when the page will load, it will call the app and it will have the parse also in it, so I can take the use of the parse in my application. So this is all about the index.js. We are not doing Redux now, but when the project will need the Redux requirement, then we will introduce the Redux again. I have explained you long back how to install the Redux and how to use the Redux, but now we will not do Redux now, but we will do soon when it is required in any project. So if it is a small project of few pages, then we don't need the Redux. Redux is only needed if the project is very big and you want a variable from one component to another component which are not related, which are not parent and child, which are far away from each other, then only we need the Redux. And if you feel that all the variables you need in a page and another component may not need it, then we don't need the Redux. Okay, so there's a difference between the two. So right now I'll not go with the Redux button. We'll do without the Redux for now. Okay, later on we will add the Redux when the time comes. So this is the setup of the index page. This is done. Let's check my application. So it's saying this bootstrap is not working fine. Let's check why it's not working. So this is my second one, which is installing. Still the bootstrap is getting installed. So I'm getting that error. Okay. Till then it gets installed, we will do more setup now. Okay, so the index.js is done. Now, we have to define our folder structures. So let's define the folder structure now. So now I will right click and I'll create different folders. This folder structure is only created by me because I feel it comfortable with that. You know, if you go with different developer, he may have different folder structure. Folder structure is only, you know, how you are structuring your folder. It may be different. It is like this, how I am arranging my clothes in my cupboard. Some may arrange in different way, some will arrange in different way. So you can also define your own structure. It doesn't matter how you define it. So I'll create first folder and I will name it as components. So these components, so this all the common things which my project will use, I will put it in these components and I will call from these components in my different project. So these are kind of common utility functions, components which can be used by many of the project. I'll create another folder. I'll name it as project. So all my projects will go inside this project folder. So I'll create a new project, new folder, and I'll name it as project 1. Or I can say 0001, whatever I feel. Okay. And I'll then again create a new folder, project 0002. Okay, so let me see. Okay, it is gone inside the project 1. Okay, so I have projects and I defined two projects, project 001 and project 0002. For now, we will be adding more projects here later. Right now, I just created two folders. So my one project will go inside this project 0001 and second project will go into 0002. So all the things related to this project will go inside this project folder and another one project, it will go in this project one. So this is about the project folder. I will have some utility components or functions. I will put it inside the utils folder. So maybe I'll create a folder. Utils. So all utility will go inside this utility folder. I will be creating input widgets. So I'll put it in the widgets folder. So like we have done, if someone may remember, we have done input, text area, and other widgets. All widgets will go inside this widgets folder. Yeah, that's it. These are the 4 main folders. I will be adding more if I needed to. Okay, so let's see how things are going in the terminal. So we got all packages installed. I'll restart my npm start. Okay, let's check now. So I think Bootstrap this cannot. Okay, it's still loading. Sorry. Yeah, it got loaded. So I can see the hello world now. So since you can commit the code, you can create inside your ReactJs folder, you can create a folder called as complete React. Okay, so you know, you can create a folder complete React, and you can inside client inside it. So I'll show you once again. Let me show you. So for you, since I don't want to commit that, so I created another one. But for you all people, you can do. I don't need this complete React, for example. So I'll delete this part. Let me delete this one. Okay. And you can create the complete React, and inside that you can create the client. Okay, so I think it's clear right now. So you create a folder complete React inside the React.js, and inside that complete React you install the create React app with a client. So complete React, and then there will be client, and all the React code will be inside that client. So that is how you can structure your code. Okay, so this one, let's see how it goes now. Okay, now it's working. Let me check. It's hello world is working, right? So this setup is done. Now, next thing is we have to start with our first project, and this first project and all other project, many of the projects will need the login and logout functionality. So I'll be building that functionality from tomorrow. First functionality which we will build is login and logout functionality. That part we will build, and we will use it in our projects, because this login will be used in everywhere. You know, we have to log in to see the changes. Okay, so let's create a folder today, but we will work on it tomorrow. What happened? I got stuck. One second, I think it is stuck somewhere. Maybe I created the delete of that folder, and this is causing the issue. Okay, I would have deleted it separately. Okay, wait a minute, let me. Oh. Okay, deleting that folder which I created, you know, which I wanted to delete. Okay, still. Okay, so it will take little time. I think it's trying to delete, and it is stuck there. Okay, so till it gets resolved, I'll just recap on what we did. We installed the npm packages, and I did changes in index.js file to accept the bootstrap and parse initialization. Then I created the folders. Folder structure will go like this. I have the components folder where I will put all my components. One of the components which I will be building tomorrow is the auth. Auth is nothing but is login, logout, and register. I will not touch the forget password now. This will be done later. Right now we'll work only on this three: login, logout, and register part. And then we will be another folder will be another folder for which I created was widgets. So all the input widgets like input, checkbox, select box, text area. This text area will go inside this widgets one. Next folder is utility function. Utility will have different function like loading icon and other things will be there. And next will be the next will be the what you call as what I created it. I forgot. Let me see what I created. Okay, this one is the one. Okay, I deleted the complete React. So what you have to do, you have to create the complete React here. And when you go inside the complete React, if you run the npx create one, so it should have another folder, client, and all React code should go into this client one. Okay, that is the aim of that one. Okay, let me see now. Okay, so now I created widgets, utility, projects. So next one are the projects. And this project will have subfolder project 0001. And since I will be building more than 1000 projects, so it will go like 1000. It will go on increasing till it reaches whatever I have to achieve. So this project will go on increasing. Okay, few more files I have to create. I will create those today because and couple of files which I will be creating now. Those are something ready files which I got from the React website. So I will share that website in the share that file inside this assets folder because I don't want you to write that one, as I also have not written those one. Those one was given by React people. So I'll be putting that in this assets folder. You can copy paste from the assets folder in your respective branch. So let me create few files which are given by React team or related team or some are third party also, but which are useful in our application. So one of the file which I will be creating is called as my error boundary.jsx. This is given by the React team, so I am okay. So this one is written in the classes. Since I did not create it, I write all my code right now in the third part in the functional as a function component. But since I got this from the React website, they have also this old file. Otherwise, all new files which React people create is in the functional way. So this one they put long back, and they have not changed it maybe. So this is the error boundary file which I created it, which I put it here in the my error boundary. And what is the use of this? I'll explain you shortly. Today or tomorrow I'll explain you what is the use of this file. So let me put this also in this one. So I'll put it inside the util folder, my error boundary.jsx. So I created this file inside the util folder. So just copy paste it and don't worry about what it is. And I'll tell you what it does. Tomorrow something went wrong. I'll tell you what it does. Another one is called this is also I got it from somewhere and it has some purpose, and I will put it and then I'll explain it to you what it does. Okay, scroll to top.jsx and I will put it in the util one. So what it does, I'll explain you, and what exactly it's doing, that also I am doing. since it was also, these some files are in my repository long back when people used to use classes more than function components. So I have those files in that, and it is not been converted to the function one. We can convert it when I'll get time. I'll convert those into the function one. But since I got it long back, about a year or 2 year back, so I just put it as it is. Okay. So sometime in future I will convert them to the function one. Right now I am using whatever they provided me. Okay, I will put this one also in my SS folder so you can copy paste. Since this is a utility function, we don't have to write you don't have to write yourself. So this is called the scroll to top.js, and I will put it here. So few files I'll share it here. So next thing, I have to do a login part tomorrow, but I will be doing some. Okay, I'll show you one thing now. Scroll to top. This is the util one, right? So each folder, project folder, will have a routes file called as routes.jsx. So project 1 also have routes.jsx, and project 2 will also have routes.jsx. And here I will put some code right now, which I will put tomorrow in detail. I'll show you what I want to put in each one. So I can say here route from project 1. Okay, so I'll put it like this. And same thing for project 2, I'll say route from project 2. So I created two files. One is called the route 1 and route 2. Routes only, I call routes only, but I put it in the project 1 also, in project 2 also. Now I'll go into my app.js. I will import routes from project 001, and I'll put routes. And then instead of using anything, I will only say routes. Okay. Okay, now let's see what's showing in the screen. So it's saying route from project 1. Now, if I do to 2, I'll change it to 2. So let's see what it's saying. So it's saying route from project 2. So when I'm building the project 1, I will call route from project 1, and my whole application will be project 1, and I will see everything which is related to project 1. So nothing of project 2 will be visible on my screen. Everything will be of project 1. So tomorrow I'm done with the project 1, and I want to use the project 2. I will change it to 2, and then my whole website will become now project 2. Now everything will be calling project 2, and there will be no trace of project 1, though it is there in my folder structure, but visibly I don't see project 1 here. So what in reality, in real life, what I will do, I will change it to 1, and I will build the project and I push it to the live. So my project 1 will go live. Then I will start working on project 2. Once I'm done with the project 2, I will change this to project 2. I will build it and I will push it to the live server. Then my project 2 is using the all my project 2 will be related to the project 2 folder. And then I'm done with the project 2, I will go to the 3. So like this way, I have only one structure, but I will be creating multiple projects inside my one project. Why I'm doing this one? Because this setup thing takes a lot of my time, and I don't want to repeat again with my new project. And widgets, I will be building many widgets. So I want to use this or widgets in all my projects. So why I should unnecessarily build widget again and again for different projects? So I'll be building some common widgets here, and I'll be using it in all my projects. So that is the purpose. I created different projects, And since routes are different, once I change from project 1 to another project, everything will be the new one. So I won't have any problem in you know changing from project 1 or 2. So it will be automatic since I will be calling routes from project 1 or routes from project 2. So that is all for today. So if your, let me first stop the recording.